The other day, I had this scary idea, which kind of compounded on top of another scary idea that I've had for a long time. And I thought, well, if I do them together, maybe they'll cancel each other out. So we'll see how that goes. But basically, scary idea number one is a painting collection that I've had in my mind for months, maybe a year, maybe 3 years. I can't even remember at this point. And it's one of those things that's like this vision where you just get it in your head and you're like, I want to make this. It would be so cool. I have to make this. And then all these like doubts come up and you're like, can I make it? Should I make it? Will it turn out? Will anyone buy it? Will anyone like it? Like, will I even like it? And so like the longer you put it off, the bigger it gets and the kind of more the doubt seeps in. So scary idea number two, new scary idea was, what if I document this? What if I kind of use this as a little accountability nudge and I start making this collection that I'm so excited to make and so I don't even know why, like scared to make. So I'm gonna take you through it and kind of for me, again, as accountability and hopefully for you, maybe a little inspiration that we all kind of, I think, unless you're like cuckoo, I think most creative people go through periods where they're excited to make something, but they have a lot of doubts about it or their perfectionism creeps in. So I kind of want to pull the veil back and make like a very honest artist vlog that like the ideas, even if the ideas flow freely, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes we hesitate and that's normal. And I'm just going to do it anyway. So let me take you along. Right now, I'm just going to start with step one, which is stretching the first canvas. And this actually is kind of a big step because I haven't stretched my own canvas in a while. So I'm kind of like getting, what is the phrase? Like riding a bike. I'm like relearning it, but it actually comes back pretty quickly. So I'm pretty proud of myself for stretching this canvas. It's like a step in the right direction. And I do think that sharing it here is helping. I will jump in and show you some of the steps along the way, but the point of this series or video, whatever it turns into, is more about kind of talking through the process of like working on a collection that I'm unsure of and kind of hesitating as I go. So I may not, show every single step here, but just to give you a little idea of what it is, for the past several years, I've been making these loop paintings, which my art is like very minimal. So this is to me kind of like maximalist. I have two paint colors on a canvas. So there's like one square in the center and then I do like a really loose brush stroke around it. And that's kind of like a signature style that is getting more popular. And it's something that I just really enjoy making. And maybe I'll get more into it another time, but basically the kind of premise of this idea is that I'm very like obsessive and I really like things very organized and neat, which is runs kind of counter to and at the same time as my like free artist spirit self. And, they're kind of always playing together. But anyway, for this idea I had was to kind of organize in almost like a mathematical way, like how many permutations could I make of these loop paintings using a limited color palette? And if I did that with many limited color palettes, how many pieces could I make? And then I had this idea that I was really excited about to make one kind of giant piece that had multiple of these loops on it in different colors, and then to have kind of each one of them zoomed out into its own smaller piece. You'll see what I'm talking about when it's finished. It's not easy for me to explain, but that's what I'm working on. So in the name of kind of like documenting the process here, right now it's like the ideation is done. This is what's on my mind. And I've stretched my first canvas, and now I'm going to get started kind of measuring out my space on my canvas, where things need to go. So I'll show you a little bit of that. If you're wondering why I'm doing so much of this on the floor, it's because I have a very small studio space. And that's another thing that I think stands in the way sometimes of people creating big things that they want to work on. I've learned over the years not to let it stop me, because my studio has taken like a million different forms and they've all been perfect and imperfect in different ways. So I've learned to just work with it. Anyway, so just a little encouragement. If you have a small space, don't let it stop you from making big things. I find that actually using a floor is like so liberating because you have unlimited space. Also, if you're wondering what this random wet line is, as I was stretching the canvas, I realized that there was a crease in it, and like, again, perfectionism struck in, and I was like, oh, why didn't I look at the canvas before I started stretching it? But then I was impatient. I was like, this is actually the last piece of canvas I have in the house. I have to go buy more. So I'm just going to use it and just put a little water on it, and the crease will come out. And if it doesn't, I think it's part of the art. So we'll see how that goes. A lot more math than I thought it would be. This step was more tedious in some ways and less tedious in other ways than I thought it would be, but this is where I'll leave you. I have a little more masking to do, and then next time we'll see if we get to painting. As I'm sharing this process with you, not just like the physical process, but like coming through and creating a collection, I realized that there's so many like little things that nag at me as I'm working, and I think that's what makes me procrastinate sometimes. I'm kind of putting in all this time into like stretching the canvas and doing math, which is a stretch for me, and like having these ideas. There's something like, I guess, about when you've been doing this for so long, like I have, realizing that sometimes there are things that take off and sell really well and sometimes there aren't, and that I need to remind myself that like, of course I'm creating this stuff because I want to, and whether it sells or not isn't necessarily the ultimate point. It's I can't not make it. I have to make this. But it's hard when when you're doing this for a living and you're spending money on canvas and stretching and paint and, your time. It's a lot, and sometimes it can be hard to feel like you're putting so much in and you're not sure what you're going to get back. But that is why we just keep going and, see what happens. So thank you for watching, and check back in because I'm going to be talking you through this collection as I go, at least a couple more videos, just to kind of again, keep myself accountable and reveal this process, the mental process of creating something that you're unsure about. So hopefully this helped you, and I'll see you soon.